Hello guys, in today's video we'll be talking about a problem that might occur with any of these Zbroia kozak when you can't fully load or cock the gun. What actually happened that the person shooting the gun cocked all the way back this lever and kept it aside when someone pulled the trigger while this lever is loaded, and it pulled forward with all the force of the spring that catches the hammer inside, breaking a part from the other side related to the indexing, the one that I will show you in a few seconds, the indexing side or the mechanism that rotates the magazine. Let me show you, as you see first, that I partially disassembled the parts that I need to work with just to save time. Let me show you what really happens when you cock the gun. When you fully reload or move back the cocking arm, you have this part here. You have this part here that will move back with the cocking arm. In our case here, if you move back, nothing is moving from this side because this side has a pin, and I'm sure that it's broke. You can see even through the hole. When you try to remove this, make sure not to lose the spring. It's not under tension, but it's under tension a bit. Make sure to not to lose it. Alright? I will try to make everything on the camera just to show you guys. Hold the spring with any tweezer and then gently pull out this part from its place. As I told you that there's a missing pin here. This pin might be lost inside the receiver. That's why we need to open, I will show you in a second, the second plate, the second upper plate from the other side to see where the pin is. It's an easy fix, as I told you, but we need to follow the steps just to first identify and then check the pin, change it, replace it, or maybe if someone had all the assembly, you can just swap it. But of course, when you have a lost pin, we need to identify the place where the pin is. In our case, because this arm is not fully locking backward, I bet that someone is blocking the cocking arm to move fully backward. Alright, so we removed this part, and we need to remove these two screws here. Do not touch this part because it needs someone special or professional person to reassemble the parts, because it attached the whole trigger and the sear system here. So anyways, we don't have any work to fetch anything here or to search for the pin here. I bet the pin is, whether it's from this side or the second potential place might be sitting inside the spring chamber. Alright? I will remove the first screw. And the second one. Be gentle, guys, do not use an electric screwdriver. Okay, so also we need to remove this plate with any soft tweezer. We can just pull it back. In some cases the magnet can do its job, but not in my case. A sec. So by removing the two screws, we'll be able to remove this plate underneath the cocking arm. So what we need to identify or to locate the missing pin from this part. It's a small pin by I think 3 to 4 millimeters in length and around 1 millimeter in diameter. So by looking here, you can quickly locate or see if there's any pin inside. In our case, there's nothing here. Check always the tunnel inside the hammer. I bet that this pin might have dropped inside the spring chamber, as you can see. So there's nothing here. There's nothing here. What we need to do is to remove the adjuster screw. Make sure to know at what velocity your gun was running, just to undo everything at its place. All right. Before you attempt to unscrew this part, you need to unscrew this locking hex. Let me show you. With a 2 millimeter hex, you can unscrew this part. You can fully remove it or just keep it a bit attached, not to lose it. With your plier or any tools or any tool designed to remove this one, you can simply, the thin head plier, you can simply pull them inside and remove or undo this screw. Hold on a sec, just to make it easier for me. Alright, check this, guys. Be careful that if the spring inside is under tension, you can feel this screw, the adjustment screw is a bit under tension. Make sure not to harm yourself or keep the gun at a safe direction, but that's maybe 5% of luck. So when you remove the screw, there's the tension screw inside of the hammer, and when we look inside, hold on a second, just to get you another or a better angle. Alright, you see, there's the pin, the one we are looking for. That's it, guys. That's the broken pin that sits here inside this part. Okay, it's not actually broken, it's it came out of its place because it's a tight place here. So I will show you now, when the gun is fully healthy, how this mechanism works and why at the first place we couldn't fully reload the gun backward, because this pin was sitting in a horizontal way, preventing the hammer or the seat of the hammer to lock into the sear. Alright, to ensure that this problem might not occur again, you can simply put a drop of any adhesive or resin or anything that can attach or bond the metal, but a very tiny drop. It will be more than enough to complete this job. Alright, that's our problem, guys. We found the problem, we found the pin, and now we can reassemble and test if the gun will fully load and will fully index the magazine. So we will reverse what we did. Make sure always start by this side of the plate. Alright, you see now that there is no tension at all because we have removed the hammer spring and the locking screw and everything. So what we need to do is to simply put back this part inside, make sure it's aligned and not angled from any side. I will do it off the camera. So guys, we have screwed in the two screws of this plate. Make sure to make them flat with this plate and this side of the receiver. What you need to do next is to put back the spring, the hammer spring, and the adjustment screw inside. Make sure the gun is not cocked, or if it's cocked without any tension, make sure to release the mechanism, because the back of the hammer pin will be pulled out and you can't place, let me show you, you can't place all the way the hammer. So if I need to place the hammer here, if you see, if I cock the gun, hold on a sec, if you see the spring is inside. When we try to pull backward, look at the spring going out with the hammer, because it's moving back with the hammer inside. You might hear a click now. Alright, that's the click. Now I ensure that the hammer is, this here is locking the hammer, and if we pull back this forward, we won't be able to pull the hammer inside until we release the trigger. And at this place, the adjuster screw do the job of holding a precise velocity each time, of course along with the regulator and all the harmonized settings. Okay, when we have this, just pull the trigger and we will be able to put it inside. As I told you earlier, just make sure to have the right dimension or the right velocity before shooting the gun again, or you might be losing zero or anything like that. In our case, it's not that important now. We need to just reassemble the gun and check if everything is working fine. Okay, so we placed this the hammer spring inside, and it's the adjustment screw. And now, don't forget to place the locking screw in its place. Alright? So by screwing clockwise, we can lock the hammer adjuster in place. Make sure not to over tension whenever it touches the brass, because the screw is made from metal and might damage the thread inside of the hammer spring tension. Okay, so everything is in its place now. We don't need to cock the gun to test it. We need to go back to the second side let me remove the cylinder from here, just to make everything in place and to test our part here, and if the indexing will work again and the cocking and everything will be fine. Alright, as I told you before, there's a spring for this part. It will be attached. You see like a small dent here. You place the ring of the spring from one side, and the other side is located on inside the receiver. So make sure to have both attached and hold and hold on a second. Whenever you need to place this part inside, it's a bit tricky because you need to have both sides of the string attached and pulling this forward, inside. Alright, we'll do it again. It's not that easy because I'm not comfortable not to block the camera, but this side is attached, the other side is attached. All we need to do is to align this one, pull up this part, and then push it inside. Alright, so now what we have, this part is working flawlessly, and we need to close this plate to prevent this part to jump out whenever we pull the trigger or we try to cock the gun. I will show you how the mechanism works. I will tell you how the indexing works. Whenever you pull back the lever from the other side, this indexing move back with the hammer, as I told you earlier. By moving this part backward, the upper part will slide on the angled side or part of the lower indexing and move this arm upward. This arm will rotate the magazine clockwise, and you will be able to load another pellet with the probe. Alright, so now we'll be closing this side, so we ensure that both springs are here. At the plate, the pin is locked inside the indexing, and now we need to close the plate. Make sure, as the other side, to make everything flush with the system. Screw in the two screws, and we will be able to test if everything worked and our indexing try not to use an electrical screwdriver. You might damage the screws, but it's a bit quick for me. Okay, so this plate is locked, the other plate is locked, the hammer spring is inside, the adjuster is inside and locked with the screw from the other side, and now we need to check if the system worked. What we need to do is cock it back, and we will hear a click, not this click, a click when the sear locked the hammer backward, and the hammer will be under the spring tension inside the spring that we saw a few minutes ago. Alright, so when we cock back, you heard the click, and now the gun, this one is free, and the indexing arm inside is locked up. That means that the whole system is working together. If we need to uncock the gun, we don't want to shoot the pellet for any reason, we can simply hold this arm and gently pull the trigger. You will hear also a click. That's when the hammer reset from the sear. You see, and we will be able to pull it forward without having any hammer ready to be fired. All right. So that's it, guys. That was the fix. Maybe it's a long process a bit, but this problem might occur with any one of us. If you have any question, just make sure to put them in the comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And any one of you that has any question related to this Zbroia kozak or any of these Zbroia air rifles, make sure to place them in the comment, and we will be ready to answer any of your questions. Thank you guys for your time. We'll catch up in the next video. Bye bye.